Hi YouTube, I'm Aiman. Welcome back to one of my auto repair videos. Now the next step, set this aside, is we're going to focus our attention to the door handle, and behind it there's a panel. Now it's not going to actually look exactly like what we have here. Ours is actually broken, and you'll see why in a minute. But what we want to do is we want to take a thin object, a prying object, sort of like a screwdriver. Now, if you really care about the maintenance of your car and how it looks, you can always use a plastic tool to pry it out, but we're taking apart this car anyway. Alright, so we're going to do it on the other side because the other side, on the driver's side, is broken. But as you can see, on the right side of this panel, there is a small hole with a tab. You want to take a small, very small, thin tool like the screwdriver right here, very mini screwdriver, or you can take I think this is called a pick or a hook, and you want to sort of get it behind the tab, be gentle with it, and so you sort of want to gently finagle the door out. It's going to take a bit of patience. You can see that came out just a bit. There we go. So it should come out from the side where the tab is, and you just take it out easily. Now, I said that the other door was broken, and that's because it is. We did break the tab a bit, and it's actually scratched. It has a big, like, what's it called? A big cut through it. So we demonstrated on this side. So I'm just going to do this for the sake of demonstration. And all you have to do is take the thin part, wedge it on the right side of the panel. You might have to do a bit of finagling. You can see there's a bit of leeway. Alright, so you saw that the screwdriver got wedged in there somewhere. You can see that the left side of it came out a bit. Now what you're going to do is you're going to want to slowly, you're going to want to carefully take out that panel by just prying it out. Now, you can see what I mean by this panel is broken because it's not actually supposed to look this way. So you can see this big crack. I don't know where that came from. I think maybe something happened with the old owner. But as you can see, there's 1 and 2 notches. This bigger notch goes on the left side, and the smaller notch goes on the right side in the corner. But anyway, moving on, there are 2 screws behind those panels that we took off. You want to take a Phillips head screwdriver. You're going to want to unscrew them. Now, this bottom one, you might have to pull the door open to get to it. But after that, that is what the screw looks like. It's actually pretty different than what I'm used to. That's pretty curious. So the second screw goes out easily as well. Oh, this one hasn't. Yeah. It looks like there's something on our screw. I think that's to keep it in. Alright. I hope nothing's wrong. Alright, so first thing that we're going to do is take out the part where the handle is. Because it's independent of the door itself. In order to do that, we're going to wedge a plastic object under it. And there's going to be like some sort of locking mechanism that you have to press down on. There should be, after that you press it with the wedge, you should be able to take it out. Now, what I mean by this mechanism is, you'll see very soon enough, is this. When you press down on it, you're going to be able to release it from holding onto this lip. Now, I think the previous owners already broke it, which is why this, and I think it's already scratched a bit. They already tried to remove it. But, so, give me a second. Alright, so now that we have it in this position, I guess it's easy to take out the cable that's holding the handle in. All you have to do is clip out the, what's it called, the cable out of its, there's a lot of nomenclature that I don't know for the actual parts, but take out this wire out of its holder. So just spin it around. Whew, my hand. if you push it hard enough, you should be able to get this locking mechanism out. That's what it's called. Now after that, you should be able to actually just take this green part out of the fitting. I already did that before because we actually looked at it before. Now the next step is you can actually just take the wire out. It just goes in like that. That means we've got the door handle out. I guess we could have done a separate video on that, but it doesn't matter. Alright, so the other minor parts, they're easy to put back. All you have to do for the door handle is to angle the holder, put the wire in. It's a bit tricky from my perspective, but alright. Then you want to snap the holder onto it. You want to angle this green part onto its holder, which is the U-shape cutout. And there we go. Now we should be able to angle it so that when we put it back in, give me a second. Alright, so now we should be able to angle it so that when we put it back in, we should be able to put it back in easily. Alright, so just make sure that it goes in the way it's supposed to. Then you want to put your screws back. I'm pretty sure these are the ones. I said they looked peculiar. No, wait. Yeah, I think these are. Okay, so let me look for the other one. I know it has some yellow gunk on it. Right here. So my dad's telling me that the gunk on the screw is like Teflon tape or some sort of rubber that, because if you look here, you can see that the hole is a bit too big for this screw. So I think the previous owner put some Teflon or some rubber inside here so that the screw actually fit in. But now all you have to do is take your screws, screw them in. Top one goes in easy. It might be a bit tricky with the rubber in it, but eventually I actually might cross the rubber threads because, you know, rubber is easier to put a screw into. But either way, it's gonna go in. Yeah, it is really easy to cross the threads on a rubber Teflon, what's it called, screw hole. So if you have a Teflon screw hole, it might not be easy to put the screw back in the way it's supposed to. But now that you have them in, all you have to do is screw them in. Okay, so this one. Okay. So this one's not actually like going in anymore, but you can still turn it. So I guess I did cross the threads with the rubber, but that's alright. At this point, it's a matter of putting back all the covers. This one, the broken one. Going to put it back in, make sure that the bigger notch is on the bigger hole and that it actually fits. Make sure you hear that click, that indicates that it's locked in. There we go. And I guess if me, like a 14-year-old can do it, then I'm sure you guys, like adults especially, can do it as well. And if you are, then good luck with that. And that's it. I'm Aiman, thanks for watching. Please like, rate, comment, subscribe, and look at videos on Aiman, especially the auto repair videos. And as you can see behind me, we're completely dismantling this car. You know, like for example, I'm taking apart the steering wheel. I actually took out the seats. There's actually a funny scene where I try to carry the seats out of the car. You should go check that out. But I'll see you there.